All right, you know that feeling, right? Someone mentions cilantro, and you either think, yes, bring it on, or you physically recoil.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely one of those ingredients. Super polarizing.
Totally. For some people, it's all fresh, bright, maybe a little citrusy. But for others, it's straight up soap or like licking aluminum foil.
Exactly. Metallic, soapy. It's a really strong reaction for some.
It's this huge mystery dividing dinner tables everywhere. So today, yeah, we're doing a deep dive into this whole cilantro puzzle.
And our mission really is to unpack what's going on. The science behind it, the cultural side. By the end, you'll have a much clearer picture of why this one herb causes such drama.
It affects so many meals, you know?
It really does. It's a fantastic example of something seemingly simple being, well, incredibly complex underneath.
It is. And what's so wild is even with this love-hate thing, cilantro is everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, think Mexican food, it's essential, right?
Yeah.
Fresh in salsa, guac, sprinkled on top of everything.
Mm-hmm. And Indian cooking, too.
Yeah.
Chutneys, curries, salads.
Mm-hmm.
It gives that freshness.
Yeah. And Middle Eastern, Southeast Asian dishes. It's used fresh, cooked, in sauces. It's hard to avoid in huge parts of the world.
Which makes that taste divide even more fascinating. How can it be so key, yet so, well, problematic for some?
It really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? These two totally distinct experiences. One side gets fresh, citrusy, peppery, brightens everything up,
Yeah.
and the other gets soap or metal from the same plant. What is actually going on?
And what's really interesting here is that it's not just like a casual preference, not like preferring apples over oranges.
Right.
This huge difference points towards something more fundamental. Specific chemicals triggering these really different reactions. It kind of makes you question what taste even is.
Okay, so if it's not just someone being picky, where do we start looking? What's the science telling us?
Well, a really big piece of the puzzle, maybe the main piece is actually in our genes.
Our DNA, seriously.
There's a specific gene that's called OR6A2.
OR6A2, okay.
Yeah. And what it does is it codes for an olfactory receptor. Think of it like a tiny smell sensor in your nose.
Uh-huh.
And the particular sensor is really tuned in to aldehyde compounds, which guess what? Cilantro is full of them.
Wow. So my DNA is literally telling my nose and brain whether cilantro is good or soapy. How does that work?
Pretty much. Variations in that OR6A2 gene directly affect how you perceive cilantro's flavor. It's all about how sensitive your receptors are to those specific aldehydes.
Okay.
So some genetic variants basically crank up the sensitivity to those aldehydes. Way up.
And that's the soapy taste.
That's the soapy taste, because your nose is screaming aldehydes. But other variants, they don't make you as sensitive, or maybe they let you perceive the other compounds in cilantro, the fresh, green, citrusy ones more strongly.
So the soapy part gets drowned out for them.
Exactly. Or it's just not detected as intensely. It's a direct genetic link to perceiving either fresh herb or, soap.
That completely changes how you think about someone saying they hate cilantro.
Yeah.
It's not just fussiness.
Not at all. It's biology.
And I've heard this isn't like the same everywhere in the world. The chances of having the soap gene vary.
Oh, definitely. It's not evenly spread out, which is fascinating in itself.
So where is it more common?
Well, studies show that people of European descent tend to have a higher chance of having that genetic variation that makes cilantro taste soapy.
Interesting.
But if you look at populations where cilantro is, like a super traditional ingredient, think East Asian populations, Hispanic populations, the prevalence of that soapy taste gene variant is generally much lower.
So maybe generations of using it have influenced the gene pool or vice versa?
It's complex, but yeah, there's definitely a correlation between ancestry, traditional cuisine, and the prevalence of this gene variant. It shows how deep the connection between our biology and our food culture can be.
Mind-bending. Okay, you mentioned aldehydes. Can we get a little more specific? Which chemicals are we actually talking about here?
Sure. So the main culprits, the aldehydes that really give cilantro its unique character, are compounds like E2-decenol and E2-deutesanol.
Okay, decenol and dodecenol. Catchy.
Yeah. They're unsaturated aldehydes, and they are key components of cilantro's aroma profile. They are that smell, essentially.
Right, and this is where the story takes a weird turn, isn't it? What else contains these exact chemicals?
This is the amazing part. Those same aldehydes, E2-decenol, E2-decenol, they are also found quite commonly in soaps and lotions.
No way, seriously?
Seriously, it's a direct chemical overlap. So when someone with that specific OR6A2 gene variant smells or tastes cilantro, their brain is getting a signal that, chemically speaking, is very similar to soap.
So they're not crazy. It literally tastes like soap because it has soap chemicals in it?
To their perception system, yes.
Yeah.
Their genes make them highly sensitive to compounds that just happen to be in both. It's a perfect explanation for that very specific soapy description.
That is. Wow, okay. So genetics is huge. The specific aldehydes are key. But is it only genetics? Or are there other things that tweak how we experience cilantro?
That's a really important point. Genetics sets the stage, definitely. But it's not the only actor. Other things matter too, like how fresh is the cilantro. Older cilantro might taste different, maybe stronger or less pleasant even for people who like it.
Yeah, yeah.
And how it's prepared. Chopping it finely versus leaving whole leaves, cooking it versus using it raw. That changes the chemistry and the texture, which affects flavor perception. And then there's just general individual sensitivity. Some people are just more sensitive to all kinds of flavors and smells than others, regardless of the specific cilantro gene.
Right, so a combination of things. But the gene is the big predictor for that soap split.
It seems to be the primary driver for that specific soapy versus fresh divide, yeah.
Okay, so we've got the science, the genes, the chemicals, but people's experiences aren't always set in stone, right? I've heard people say they learn to like cilantro. How does that fit in? What about culture and just, what you grew up eating?
That's the next layer, and it's a really powerful one. Culture and environment play a massive role.
Oh.
Well, think about those cuisines where cilantro is fundamental. Mexico, India, Thailand, Vietnam. If you grow up with it constantly in dishes your family loves, it becomes familiar. It's associated with positive experiences, with delicious food.
So cultural acceptance kind of normalizes it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's deeply woven into the culinary fabric, and that constant exposure from a young age can actually influence perception.
You mean you can overcome the soup gene?
That leads right into the idea of acquired tastes. It seems that even if you have a genetic predisposition to find it soapy, repeating exposure can sometimes lessen that negative perception.
Really? So you can sort of train your brain?
Maybe. The mechanisms aren't perfectly understood, but familiarity can breed acceptance, or at least tolerance. Your brain might learn to focus on the other flavor notes, or the association with enjoyable meals might override the initial off signal. It doesn't happen for everyone, but it suggests perception isn't totally fixed.
That's hopeful for the cilantro haters out there.
Maybe. And it's not just about eating it repeatedly, it's also about the broader environment, right?
What do you mean?
Like your overall diet, the cooking styles you're used to, what ingredients are easily available where you live. All these environmental factors shape your palate over time. They influence how you acquire tastes for all sorts of things, including strong flavors like cilantro.
So it's this complex mix.
Yeah.
Your genetic starting point, the actual chemicals involved, and then layered on top is your culture, your exposure, your environment.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful interplay of nature and nurture.
Okay, so let's recap this for everyone listening. This whole love it or hate it thing with cilantro, it's way more than just opinion. Genetics plays a huge part, especially that OR6A2 gene, determining if you're likely to get fresh or soap right off the bat.
Right. Those aldehydes are key, the actual chemical compounds responsible.
And the crazy part is those same chemicals are in actual soup, which explains why it tastes like that to some people.
Yep, that direct chemical link.
But then it's not just destiny. Culture, how often you eat it, what you grow up with, that can actually shift your perception over time. Maybe.
It absolutely can influence it. Exposure and environment matter a lot in shaping our palates.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? So the big takeaway here isn't just about cilantro.
No, it raises a much broader question, really. Think about it. If this much complexity, genetics, chemistry, culture, exposure, goes into how you perceive one single herb,
Yeah.
how might that same interplay be shaping your reactions to other foods? Olives, blue cheese, durian, whatever it is you love or hate.
How much of what I think is just my personal taste is actually this invisible mix of biology and background?
Exactly. How much is truly personal preference, and how much is programmed by your genes and your life experiences in ways you don't even realize? It's something to chew on.
Definitely. So next time cilantro shows up on your plate, whether you cheer or you shudder, maybe just take a second. Think about the journey those little green leaves took through genetics, chemistry, and culture to get to your taste buds. It's kind of